Okay, welcome back everybody to Camp Nothing Cast. I don't know how well this episode will turn out, but whatever.
Why wouldn't it turn out well?
Because we're outside and
We can project. I can see the microphone from
there's
here.
noises outside. There's fire.
Wild bears.
There's wild bears. That's what's making that cricket noise.
Wild boars.
The wild boars.
Yeah.
I had a dream the other day that a wild bear broke into our house and attacked us.
Whoa.
It was terrifying. It was like the worst nightmare. One of the worst nightmares I've ever had.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Because you can't do anything against a bear. It's just gonna kill you.
No, not
And it was in our house, so it was like, we're fucked. We can't do anything.
I gotta go home. Oh no. It's a grizzly bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, grizzly, yeah. Black bears, you just yell at them.
There's nothing you can do. You can just pray that they don't kill you.
You can curl.
That's it.
Well, you can curl up into a ball and pray they don't kill you.
Yes.
It's in the ball form, you're safest because
That's true.
you can kind of get bat around a bit and like you're protecting your head and like vital organs.
Yeah, but they can like climb trees
And they
stuff.
can
Yeah, they can
swim.
climb trees, they can swim.
The only thing they can't do is fly, so it's like, I don't know if I own a private jet, then I'm okay. From the bears.
They can run.
Yeah, they can run.
They can run.
They can run as fast as a cheetah.
They can chase you down the runway. Like,
So you know how you're supposed to hang your food in a tree
Right.
while you're camping?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That doesn't actually matter because the way you said,
Yeah.
bears can climb trees.
yeah.
Yeah, why do they say that?
I don't know.
Just because maybe the bear's lazy and it's like, oh, I gotta climb a tree to get this food?
Yeah, so actually this
Nah.
because what the bear will do is it will break the branch like if it's small enough so that it doesn't fall itself.
Right.
Yeah, so what you're supposed to actually do is just store your food away from where you sleep.
Right, so that
So
it doesn't attract the bear to where you are.
You
Yeah.
are specifically.
If it eats your food, you're at least alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was the idea of putting it in a tree is that if the bear's in the tree and you're not in the tree, then you're okay.
No, but like it has to be a tree that's far away from you.
Oh, okay.
Dry enough yet.
So the last time I was on a canoe trip, it was myself, a guy who's 10 years older than me, and a whole bunch of 11-year-old boys. And on our last night, one of the boys at the campsite found a bush of berries and started eating them. And we were like, what are you doing? Because he brought all the other boys over and they were all eating the berries. And we're like, we found blueberries. We're gonna eat all the blueberries. And so the other guy, he was like, you probably shouldn't be doing that. And I was like, wait, let me take a look at this. And I split one of the berries in half and I saw that it was green on the inside. And I was like, okay, so they're blueberries, it's all good. These blueberries are actually green on the inside.
I
And
thought they
then
were like purple.
it depends on the blueberry, but if the blueberry is like ripe, it will be purple. If it's like not that ripe, it will be green.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so then they were like, oh, we're making pancakes tomorrow for breakfast, right? Let's make blueberry pancakes. So yeah, we made blueberry pancakes for breakfast the next night with wild blueberries. It was an amazing experience for a whole bunch of 11-year-old boys.
I thought that story was gonna have
Yeah.
a tragic ending.
Yeah, I thought
where-
they were gonna like all like get poisoned or something from
Yeah.
eating something that wasn't blueberries.
See, that's what you'd expect, which is why I phrased it in the way I did.
We got ourselves a Ryan Johnson over here.
Oh. Yeah, you didn't expect
kids
it.
at least learn not to just eat random berries they found.
No, they're
I don't-
11-year. They are
Well, I know,
11-year-old
but, like,
boys.
That seems like the kind of, if it was like a story.
I think they learned to eat random berries. at the time.
So I guess it is a Ryan Johnson story.
Well, at least they kind of had an idea of what they were doing before they started doing it. They're like, these look like blueberries, so I will eat them.
They either learned the wrong thing or didn't learn anything about it. That's a Ryan Johnson script if I've ever heard of.
So it's subversive and good.
Apparently, the whole world thinks that he's a genius.
Well, has
Me included.
everyone here seen Knives Out?
Yeah.
You included? Yes,
We've
we've all.
watched
I think
Knives
we've all
Out,
seen.
yeah.
We've all seen.
I,
Yeah.
I like to think that the second act of Knives Out has a really interesting premise, where like instead of you know, oh, it's a classic whodunit, you know
Right.
whodunit, and you want them to get away with it.
Right.
I feel like that's really fun, but because it's a Ryan Johnson script, you just know that it's not going to be that by the end, and that it's going to be the super happy ending or whatever.
Right. It.
See, I didn't know that Ryan Johnson directed it when I was watching it.
And so you just enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, so I just enjoyed the movie.
See, this is the
enjoyed
problem.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah,
This
I
is the
enjoyed
problem
knowing
with-
yeah. about Johnson. Yeah,
I just don't think it was like it wasn't like brilliant, but it was fun.
the line about the donut killed me.
That one was pretty great.
Yeah.
Oh,
What was that line?
the
So he's
donut.
like, we thought that we were looking at a donut and the hole in the center of that donut, but actually there's another donut in the center of that donut, and there's a hole in the center of that donut, and that's what we're looking at. That was his like explanation of like there was a plot twist.
Oh, yeah. What's the name of the James Bond guy?
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, so apparently for the second movie, they're looking to have him back, but none of the other cast members.
Knives Out. There's
Nice.
a sequel to Knives Out.
Yeah, they're gonna make a
Kni-
sequel.
Knives In.
Knives
Yeah,
In.
they're gonna make another one, but it's just about like Daniel Craig solving another mystery. Like that's the idea.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
what else would you do with it?
It's
really?
like a Murder on the Orient Express, where it's like I forget what the guy's name is, but the main guy who like investigates the case. It's like a Sherlock Holmes sort of thing, where it's
Right.
the same guy for all these different cases.
Different
so there's new
adventures.
characters every time. And,
Oh, that's kind of fun. Like an anthology? No, not that. What's it called?
Like
Every
series.
other episode of Doctor Who.
mystery series.
Yeah, that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a Murder on the Orient Express episode of Doctor Who.
Oh, there is.
That
yeah,
makes sense.
and the
They're on a
train
space train,
is in
right?
space. Yeah, space train.
Who was the doctor for that episode?
I forget. It might be Matt Smith.
Yeah, I think it was either David Tennant or Matt Smith, but
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Matt Smith in the memory bank.
The only amount of Doctor Who I've watched is the Christopher Eccleston run,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it. I
Oh.
watched the first like few episodes,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
The one where the mannequins come alive?
I think that's the first
That's
one.
the
right?
first
Yeah, that's
one.
the pilot.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that was kind of fun. And the next one was really weird, and I was like, I don't know.
Oh, did you get to Are You My Mummy?
Don't think so.
Was that
That's where
is that the gas mask one?
yeah, it's the gas mask one.
Yeah, I did see that one.
So the whole premise for that episode was there
Oh,
was
guns.
there was an alien thing that crash landed in England because just like how American movies about space and aliens, the only interesting things ever happen in the U.S. The only interesting things happen in Doctor Who happen in England. It crash landed in England during World War II, I believe, and what it did is it immediately scanned for like the nearest life form, and it said, "Oh, that's a healthy life form." So I'm going to try and repair the similar life forms to look like that one. And the nearest life form was a scared kid looking for his mom, wearing a gas mask. So what it did is whenever people went near that alien thing, it turned them into gas mask zombies that were looking for their mothers. And then so they solved the mystery by saying, oh, this alien thing is doing that. Let's just give it a proper healthy life form to look for. And then they did that, and then everyone went back to normal. Doctor Who's a crazy show.
Yeah.
It's pretty wacko. I watched some of it.
Do you guys want to know sort of an interesting movie tidbit that you might not actually know?
Is it that in Coco, at the end of the movie, the real grandfather, he has shoes because he gets accepted back into the family,
And the family makes shoes?
and they make shoes, and he didn't have shoes the whole movie because he got kicked out. Is it that?
No, it wasn't that one.
Oh, okay.
But I did learn about that one like last week, I think. It's Apple has an agreement with everyone who uses their products in their movies or TV shows that only non-villains can use Apple products.
Is
I
that
heard
true?
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you see
Interesting.
like a group of people and you look at their phones and everyone's using an iPhone besides for one person, that person's going to be the antagonist.
Okay, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
I don't know how closely you guys have watched Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but there are like shield agents who like maybe use Apple products.
Well,
that
my
are
question.
actually Hydra people.
I have a question related to Winter Soldier.
Is it when they go to the Apple
It was
store?
It was when they go to the Apple Store.
Yeah.
And does the guy who works at the Apple Store count as a villain? I say he does.
He's an antagonizing force, I guess. Like he's a problem for them to deal with.
They like pretty much
He's not
almost
a-
get caught because he slows them down.
He's not a villain.
So-
I'd say he's like an obstacle. You know,
Yeah. So
he's not really like malicious. He's just a guy who like.
Right.
Then he's technically an antagonist, because an antagonist doesn't have to be malicious. He just has to be in their way.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess he counts as an antagonist.
So basically, what Captain America: The Winter Soldier is saying is that don't go to Apple stores because
Apple will slow you down.
they'll
But
they'll
the
slow
Apple
you
Store
down.
is what helps them find the,
I guess that's true.
the location they need to go to next.
That's a good point.
They also established that Apple geniuses are not geniuses.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it does kind of like poop on Apple.
that's what I'm saying. Is it's like does
and,
that count?
and not like all at once.
Does that count
Where
as
it's
a-
like Apple Store will get you where you're going. The staff sucks. So our products are great.
Products
but
work fine, but our staff sure doesn't.
It's an interesting debate, but yeah, no, I don't think that. It's not like Jafar like pulls out his iPhone, Aladdin remake or anything like that.
Although that would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be the most interesting thing
Aladdin with
in that
iPhone.
movie. Yeah.
I'll make you look like a prince. Gives him the iPhone XR Plus.
Oh man.
Max.
Is that just iPhone? Or are you just making this up?
Those are all suffixes to iPhones.
iPhone R?
iPhone XR, yeah.
Ew.
Is there a
Pokemon cards. Like
Yeah,
Pokemon
there's-
EX, Pokemon Level X, Pokemon Mega.
Nintendo 3DS XL?
But the X
Pokemon
only
Dynamax.
X just stood for 10. So it was the 10th year of iPhones.
Okay.
Then did they make?
It wasn't the 10th model, it was the 10th year.
It was also the 10th model.
So they make one every. So
Yeah.
they made one every year instead of the first one.
Because the first iPhone was just the iPhone, and then it was the iPhone 3G.
Right.
Right.
And then they made it all the way
Did that
up
have
to...
3 gigabytes? Is that what it was?
No, it was the data network.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
That's
That
not
makes
bad.
sense.
It's not bad at all. What's the deal with this wood here? Are we gonna put
Uh,
it closer to the center?
Well, it's just that it's not hot enough to burn because all the wood is like a little damp, and we don't really have that much wood to start with.
Get some more.
Okay,
So is this damp nothing cast or damp nothing cast?
that's the question. Comment below if you think it should be called Damp Nothing Cast or Camp Nothing Cast. And if you're still listening, please don't turn away.
Please don't leave.
Oh, we never introduced Jasper.
Oh yeah, Jasper's here. He's a
Well-
guest
well,
this
he
episode.
just left.
But he just
Actually.
left, so
Oh, he was a guest.
he was a guest. And
grab some chips?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be the best one yet.
this will be the best episode.
All right. We were talking about Winter Soldier.
We were right.
Let's move on to the rest of Marvel and how it sucks. Except for Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a hard stance there, buddy. You got any?
I don't think it's wrong.
Oh man, it's
You know what? Honestly, COVID-19 was probably the best thing that happened to the MCU. So we don't have to watch another Marvel movie every 2 months now.
Yeah.
We actually get a fucking break.
Hey Jasper, did you just bring a whole bag? I brought 2. Sweet.
Oh snap! That's twice the bags we expected.
Oh, Jasper. I don't know.
I'll use my night vision.
Here, how about I shake them?
I don't even know what.
Oh yeah, we'll do the shake test, and then the audience, you have to guess as well.
Yeah.
Wait, shake bag number 1.
Oh, I was shaking them both.
No, you gotta shake
Yeah,
one each.
they're both throwing off. It's throwing off my
Okay.
my sensory.
Okay. Okay, this one.
Oh, it sounds like chips.
Sounds like a chip bag. Okay, do number 2.
Oh, it sounds exactly the same. Oh, you know what? We have 2 different kinds of Lays. They're both Lays.
I'm gonna second Patrick's thing because I don't know what kind of chips we have.
I'll agree.
You know what? I'm gonna go off the beaten road. I'm gonna say one of them's Doritos. I don't know if we have that or not, but
Do you want to hear the answer?
yeah.
They are Lay's.
Yeah!
Ketchup and salt and vinegar.
Wow.
Ketchup for you Canadians.
Or
Right
do we
there.
have something there? I thought
Yeah.
about sour cream and onion.
I thought it was salt and vinegar. They had the light blue bag.
Oh, this is green, buddy. You gotta get your eyes checked.
What?
Yeah, check this out.
How can you tell in the nighttime?
Oh man, it's sour cream.
Oh.
I was wrong.
I'm
So
a
you
sour-
couldn't even tell what
Well,
fucking
I couldn't
chips
even
were
tell in the light of
I'm
the.
a sour creamy boy.
now,
of
it's,
the
now
house.
it's just gonna taste wrong because now I'm expecting salt and vinegar. All right.
I wanted salt and vinegar.
It's gonna taste like sour cream. Anyway,
Alright, I'm gonna bust these open as well.
we're talking about Marvel.
Talking about how you hate Marvel?
Yeah, I'm not a huge Marvel guy anymore. At least the movies.
You know what?
Gonna take this
MCU? No, I am.
that typical
I've
DC
transitioned
fanboy
from-
over here.
From becoming not like it's like I'm not a huge Marvel fan. Like MCU, like MCU's like whatever. But like as far as Marvel movies go, those like first 2
You know what? I'm
Sam
okay right
Raimi
now.
Spider-Man movies are
Because I
incredible.
have dirt all over my hands.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Y'all at home hear that?
Sam Raimi, Spider-Man, good.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like timeless. It's like classic.
Yeah.
And like it like blows every MCU movie out of the water. Those first 2
Yeah.
are so
Yeah.
amazing. Oh, what do you think, Jasper?
The Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies?
Or just really, I don't know. Hunter's hot take is that the MCU just it ain't that great.
Except for Guardians, which is like its own. It's basically its own thing, other than in Infinity War and Endgame when they kind of brought them in. Other than that,
we can just
they're
ignore
barely related.
So, I like things that are really detail oriented, and the MCU is very detail oriented. So I like the MCU for that. But movies, I like them on a movie to movie basis. There's some movies that I'm just like, I don't want to watch that. And there are other movies which I'm like, yeah, I could watch that, and I'll be fine just watching over and over again. But it's not, they're all good or they're all bad. It's like, you take it as it goes.
I think that's a
I'm
That's a fair
saying
opinion.
totally
most
fair
of them-
take.
most of
Which
them
is
are-
why it's disqualified. You can only say they're 100% good or 100% bad. That's how the internet works.
I'm saying most of them are mediocre,
Yeah.
which I find is worse than if they were
Then if
bad.
they were all bad.
Yes. In my mind.
I
that's
guess so.
worse.
But all the DC movies are pretty much bad, and
Yeah, but they all like
and
they're at least interesting. Like
Yes.
a lot of the MC movies are just like they all blend together
that's true.
because they're connected. They all have to feel the same,
Right.
and like they all have to rely on being connected to one another, and they don't feel different from like any of the other ones. So I'm just like, I feel like I'm watching the same movie over and over again, but it's not that great a movie.
So Hunter, you know your favorite movie, Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah, sure.
I watched a video a few weeks ago that basically said Captain Marvel's a great movie if you rearrange practically all of the scenes.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
So not that you
I don't
change
know.
any of the footage or anything like that, but if you tell the story in a different order, it could be a really good movie. I don't remember the exact arguments this video gave, but they were pretty compelling. if I'd cared more about Captain Marvel as a movie, I probably would have remembered these arguments. But
What was the order though?
I think it's just, is it just like put her backstory first? So that you know what,
Care about her?
That-
do you care
was-
about her before she loses her memory? Is that
that was the big thing.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense to me.
Was it a Nando video? Because he likes to do that.
Well, I saw his phase 2 machete order
I don't know.
video, which is really good.
Ooh, I haven't seen that. That sounds interesting.
Every now and then I just get a whole bunch of recommendations on YouTube which are like, hey, these guys talk about movies, you might like them. And then the next 2 days I only get comedians.
You just
Don't-
get
I
John Mulaney clips?
Oh, I get so many John Mulaney clips. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you doing a John Mulaney bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I watched a video
That was YouTube to Jasper.
on,
He passed me
by High Top on the first Iron Man,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
which made me like wish that every movie was like Iron Man, where it's just like they just had a great time making a movie and they like kind of made it up as they went along and they like, but it turned out really great because everyone cared about it and it wasn't trying to be like
The next
connected
big
to
Marvel
everything
movie.
and like the biggest thing ever. They were just trying to make a good movie. It was just like, oh man.
And it had a lot of practical.
And there was a lot of practical effects and like,
I mean, the only thing that's like bad about it is that the villain's just okay.
is that the
but,
villain's
like,
fine? Yes.
that doesn't like break the entire movie.
I still,
But the movie's more about like Tony Stark like overcoming himself.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's fine.
still
but
works.
the villain isn't that great.
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
Ripped
then-
out my targeting computer.
So you know he wasn't supposed to say I am Iron Man at the end of the movie?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, that was unscripted.
Was it actually? In the first one?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
But it's so
I was
bad.
just unscripted for the character. I don't know if you understand scripts and
Stick
actors.
to the cards. Well, that's the whole. Yeah, it can't be unscripted. They must have planned that because the whole thing is that he.
But then all the reporters come out and
Did they just do that like instinctively? Like
I know it actually wasn't planned for Endgame. They reshot it for Endgame because they're like they had some other line where he's like "fuck you, Thanos" or something like that, and then
we should all come up with our own Thanos one-liner.
like you're killing Thanos one-liner.
Yeah. What would you do?
I would
Comment
just-
below. You're killing Thanos one-liner.
I
When you
think-
snap your fingers.
I think mine would just be, oh snap! Here it comes, y'all.
It was just Thanos says, I'm inevitable. And then you have to say, and I'm Kanye West.
You have to say, no, you're dust.
You're dust.
You're dust, ghost.
Say fuck you, ghost.
so get your rent when you fix this damn door.
I think the only time that can really be used well in a one-liner is in Jojo Rabbit.
Oh fuck you, Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's a great.
It's
And
also
Ghost House.
it also works because it's the only F word in the movie.
Yeah.
Or I think it is, right?
Yeah, it's the only one.
Yeah.
So
It's PG-13.
it gives it more weight too.
Right. Something I was thinking about the other day. This is Infinity War Endgame related. Just surrounding the Infinity Gauntlet. So with something that world breaking, think about this. Why couldn't, when you snap your fingers with it, just say, I do whatever I'm doing, but also I'm fine?
Because
Because it breaks Thanos' arm.
because it's
Thanos'
so
arm gets all fucked
powerful
up.
that it hurts you. to
Hulk's
use
arm
it.
gets all messed up.
Yeah.
Iron Man dies. Why don't you just say, I kill all of Thanos' army, and also I live. Snap your fingers.
Well, that's okay.
Well, 'cause
Exactly.
it's-
That's the problem
that's
with
the problem
making
with
a weapon
having-
that can do anything.
Yeah, that's the problem with it
Is that you
existing.
could come
at
up
all.
with a million reasons why things shouldn't happen the way they do
Yeah.
because the weapon exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's why the whole movie of Infinity War kind of doesn't work. Because he has, like, these world-altering gems that could destroy an entire planet just having one of them. So the fact that, like, the Avengers fight him at all and they stand a chance makes no sense.
Right. Yeah, it should be over.
It
once
should be
we-
over as soon as he shows up,
Yeah.
right? Because he has more than one of them
At, like, the start of the
in the
movie.
first, like, scene of the movie,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
No, he only has one the first scene in the movie.
Yeah, but then he gets
But
the
then he gets the
one.
second one within the first scene.
Yeah. But he only has one in the first scene.
But then just think about the two that he has. He has the one that took all of the Avengers to stop, and the other one that took all of the Guardians to stop. So it's like, okay.
Right. Yeah. So maybe if they work together, they could stop him at that point. But then he gets 5 more or 4 more. So pretty quickly. Yeah, it's just like a.
No, it's whatever. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
It's why they had to like put in that it kind of hurts you to be that powerful, to make it so that there's like some level of consequence to using such a device.
But you could just make it that there isn't.
Like theoretically, yeah, you could do anything, because you could do anything with the "you could do anything" glove.
Yeah, it's why you shouldn't have weapons or characters that powerful unless they're meant to like say something. Like Dr. Manhattan and like Watchmen is like a great use of that, because it's like not about like stopping him or like
Right, or
him
having to stop
someone else. It's
Yeah.
about the like what would a person be like if they had that much power?
And what's great about that story?
And what would it do to their relationship?
The conflict
What would-
isn't even like, oh, there's a big monster they have to fight. Like the conflict is so big and like abstract in its like construct that Dr. Manhattan couldn't even stop it. Like he can't even punch it out.
Yeah.
Because that's not what the conflict is. The conflict isn't, oh, I gotta punch this thing. It's about like society and like the global structure. Yeah. And the only person that can save the world is the villain, which is like messed up, but true.
Yeah.
That's why Watchmen works at all.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Did any of you read Doomsday Clock?
No, but I kind of want to. Maybe.
Not yet.
Is it good?
I have a
Have
couple.
you read any of
I have
it?
a couple of the issues and I haven't read them.
I was just curious because I wanted to know what happened. I haven't read it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna roast a mallow.
Oh, that's a good call. Do you have the
I was
sticks?
thinking
All the
about
sticks
doing
are down
that.
here.
Ooh.
Got everything. The mallows. The
Could you pass us? Could you skewer me a stick?
yeah, sure. Well, we gotta burn the tips again.
Just the tip.
Yeah. Just,
Patrick, I just realized your wine is in one of the spaghetti sauce jars.
yeah, it's clean.
Okay.
It's
Are
a
you-
different one. It's
are
not
you
one
drinking
we,
out
it's
of
not
a-
one we used tonight.
Are you drinking out of a mason jar like a hipster?
Yeah.
Like
Like
the
some-
hipster you are?
Yeah. I'm 20. I'm allowed to be a
You've
hipster.
taken your true form.
I haven't even reached my final form. You should see when I get the blue light glasses and just wear them all the time.
Did you have those?
I thought about getting them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I might as well get them.
My sister has them.
I don't even need glasses to see. I'm just gonna wear them because they look cool. that will be my.
You're not even going to use them for their purpose.
No.
Yeah, I guess you're kind of a hipster if you just wear glasses
That you
that you don't need.
Yeah. Yeah, you wear the. Was this ever popular at your guys' school? You take the like Realty 3D glasses and then you take the lens out and then you just wear those?
It was in like grade 5.
Yeah.
It never happened in my school,
No.
actually.
I can't remember ever being like a thing
Like,
a
I
lot of
didn't-
people did.
I didn't do it because I'm not a fucking hipster. But a lot of people in my class did it.
What?
I did in like grade 7 and 8. So yeah, when you were in grade 5, I guess.
Yeah, same year.
So, the same year. 2011 or something, a couple years after Avatar.
Right. When 3D was
When
still,
3D was still really big.
going.
Spy Kids 3D brought 3D back.
I thought it made. I
It's a
thought
hot
it like
take.
lived and died with 3D. Or wait, when did 3D even
3D
start?
started in like the 50s.
In the 50s.
Like the red and
Oh,
blue 3D?
I think, I think
Yeah.
I think it killed that version of 3D off. I think it ended
Ooh.
the version of 3D.
But it didn't really exist for a while.
No, but it, like
Like-
wait, was Shark Boy and Lava Girl after? But I don't think that was as big, was it?
No.
So I'm gonna say
No.
it killed it, and then Avatar brought it back. But like new and better.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm gonna say that Spy Kids 3D brought 3D back, which inspired new versions of 3D, which brought the Realty 3D to life.
Interesting take.
Because I never heard about a 3D movie at all until Spy Kids 3D. And then after that, I remember 3D movies being a thing.
That's true for maybe our generation,
Yeah.
but for other generations, like, not really. Everyone else, not really.
But it's been a while because it's like, what, like Jaws 3D maybe?
Jaws 3D and like one of them Friday the 13th.
One of the Friday the 13th,
So,
probably
like,
the
maybe
third one.
Since the 80s.
So like the 80s.
Was the last time.
So it's been like 20 years.
I guess it kind of brought it back, but then it didn't. Nothing. There
Then-
weren't any other movies that
Yeah.
that came out after that were as big as it.
Yeah, and there's still a little bit of a gap between Shark Boy and Lava Girl and Avatar.
About 5
Yeah.
years.
I'm not saying that it completely revived it. I'm just
Shooting
saying
star.
that it reminded people that 3D was a thing.
That's
So
right.
other people were like, okay, yeah, we can do 3D because they did it.
Yeah, maybe. I will buy your theory if you can come up with another thing connecting the dots between Shark Boy and Lava Girl in 3D and Avatar.
I can't.
Well, let's
And I don't know if there is.
let's just check James Cameron's Twitter.
James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez both worked on Alita,
Alita Battle Angel
Yeah.
came out like 2 years ago or
Yeah.
something.
so maybe.
So
Or is it
there it
Battle
is.
Angel
maybe
Alita?
maybe they were,
It's one of the two.
And the anime is the other one.
Yes.
maybe they knew each other back then, and maybe James Cameron got the idea from Robert Rodriguez. I don't know. Probably not. I'm just trying. I'm
Sort of
Grasping
connecting
at
dots
straws.
where there probably aren't any.
sort of off topic a little. Do any of you guys remember watching the second Spy Kids movie before watching the first Spy Kids movie and thinking that the second Spy Kids movie was the first one because of that?
No.
No.
One of
I think
them's
this
called-
is
I watched
very-
I watched
I
the
watched
first,
the first
one
one first.
Yeah.
So
And then I think I might have watched the third one second.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think
later
that's
on, I discovered that there was a second
I
one.
definitely watched Spy Kids 2 the least of all the Spy Kids, and I've watched
Really?
it.
see 3 in theaters because I
No, I
I walked out
Shark
of that
Boy.
movie
I
and
don't
I
think
said
so.
to my dad, that was the greatest movie of all time.
He was probably like, "Oh, thank God,
he was probably like,
my kid was
my
entertained
son's
for
a
an hour and
fucking
half."
idiot.
what year did it come out? 'Cause I
Spy
feel
Kids 3?
yeah,
Like 2003, I think.
Yeah, the Spy Kids trilogy came out the same year as the Lord of the Rings trilogy,
maybe I didn't.
which is why I think Elijah Wood cameos in the third one.
Yeah.
But you've also been in Sin City, or has that happened yet?
I guess it lined.
That probably
No,
didn't happen
Sin City
yet.
happened.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of lines up.
I just remember that.
So that's the
I don't know if
connection.
that's the specific reason why he's in 3.
Well, it's just he's popular around then, right?
Yeah.
We got a DVD player that's strapped to the back of a car seat,
Nice.
and for some reason, my dad had recorded over my big fat Greek wedding on DVD with Spy Kids 2, and we watched that in the car while driving places, and that's when I first watched Spy Kids, and then I watched Spy Kids 1 after Spy Kids 2, and I'm like, this is a weird sequel. And then we watched Spy Kids 3 in theaters.
It's like watching Raiders and then Temple of Doom. This is a weird sequel.
Yeah.
Well, not less
Oh.
though, because Temple of Doom doesn't really matter the order. But like, Spy Kids 1 is about them becoming Spy Kids for the first time. And the second one, they're already Spy Kids at the start. So.
Yeah.
Did any of you watch Spy Kids 4?
Oh no. But
I know Joel McHale's in it.
Remember our youngest cousin gave me the synopsis of it. She said that what was it? Oh yeah, the villain he didn't spend enough time with his dad, so he wanted to get all the time in the world.
Yeah, that was it. So
That was the plot.
yeah, so he
So he made a
starts speeding up
time-stealing
time,
machine.
and time speeds up at an exponential rate. So basically, in the span of a week, the entire universe would have run out of time, and they have to. So their mom, it's not like Junie and whatever the guy's name is. No, Junie's
Junie's
the guy.
the guy. Carmen's
Yeah.
the girl.
Carmen's the girl.
Carmen San
What are
Diego.
you smoking, or can I have some?
So, they're not the main focus. It's this woman who's kind of famous. I don't remember who she is.
Jessica
but
Alba?
Jessica Alba?
Yeah, that one.
She's invisible. That's why I didn't remember.
She's the mom, and she's a spy, and her two kids find out that she's a spy, and they're like, oh, but she's not cool enough to be a spy, just like Spy Kids 1.
Right.
And
So it's
they
a remake.
become spies, and they meet Junie and Carmen,
Oh, okay.
and Junie has left the OSS,
Okay.
and
Whoa. You went rogue?
He's gone rogue, just like in 3 when he went rogue and became a noir detective.
yeah.
The water
basically-
park's closed. That's because
basically.
it's September.
And then what happens is the time guy shows up and he's like, I'm gonna beat you guys because I have a thing that can freeze all OSS agents in time. And then he uses it and they all get frozen. And then the time guy's like, ha, I did it. And he walks away. And then Junie's one of the OSS agents, but he's not part of the OSS. So he's like, ha, they're all frozen, but I'm not. Oh crap, I guess that means it's my turn to save the world. And then he helps the two kids, and then they save the world. And Joel McHale, he's there, and the only like role that he plays in this movie is he's working his job, and then he goes and he says, "Hey boss, I got a lead on this story," or whatever he does. I don't remember what he does. And the boss is like,
I gotta go back to the business office.
yeah, pretty much. And the boss is like, are you kidding me, Joel McHale? That was due yesterday. And he's like, what? But it's only Monday. And then the boss is like, haven't you heard time's speeding up? It's Friday now.
That's amazing.
And that's all I remember about that movie. I've seen
So
it
like
once.
the entire thing?
No. But that's like 3 or 4 different scenes. I don't remember how they beat the guy
Oh, okay.
or anything.
I
But
think they like love him to death.
They let him spend
That
time with
sounds-
his dad.
that sounds correct.
Does Sylvester Stallone reprise his role?
That was so bizarre.
Wait, what character was he?
He's the bad guy in 3.
He's the toy maker.
The game maker or something.
Yeah,
No, Toy Maker sounds right.
Yeah, whatever his name is. So it's a soft reboot, basically, of the first.
It's
That's what it sounds like.
It's the Force Awakens of
Yeah.
the series.
So what now?
It's a Force Awakens.
Yeah, I remember it was called Spy Kids 4D because it was 3D, but they also gave you scratch cards that you could scratch during the movie to smell what was going on.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
Remember Jeremy Johns was saying that like there's like a scene where like the baby poops its diaper and you can like scratch like poop on. He's like, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to get the full experience, Jeremy? Come on, you call yourself a movie reviewer?
I thought like 4D things were when your chairs, your like seat moved around and they sprayed water at it.
Yeah, but they can't do that.
But they can't do that in a
mass
normal
theaters.
movie
Well,
theater.
they can if you make a 4D like
In
cinema.
mass theaters, they just hire people to like spit on you.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. They used to do that in like the 50s. They would do like weird like stunt stuff and then combine it with like the movie where like there was this one movie which I forgot what it's called, but these things like attach onto your brain, and so they like rigged all the seats to like vibrate at certain points in the movie, so you would like think that it's like attacking you, and they would have like actors like freak out and stuff like in the theater. They did like crazy stuff like that.
That sounds kind of great.
Yeah, it sounds super fun, right?
Sounds like the Terminator one, that, like the
Oh,
Universal
that
Terminator
one was great.
Oh yeah, that was
But-
cool.
To wrap up that thought, basically, Spy Kids keeps on reinventing cinema.
Except the last one came out almost 10 years ago.
Did they make a 5th one or did I make
No.
that up?
No, it only went up to 4, unfortunately.
I think I might have confused it with like Mission Impossible because they're both spy things.
Unless you count Shark Boy and Lava Girl as a Spy Kids movie.
That makes the 4th one the 5th one.
Yeah.
Shark Boy, I don't know. I gotta give that one a watch. That was one that I watched probably more than Spy
Well,
Kids, I would say.
Yeah.
And now that I've seen like the whole Twilight franchise, I kind of want to see Taylor Lautner again, but younger.
It's a movie where the plot was made up by the director's children. So
Yeah.
that's probably what it feels
What it
like.
feels like? Probably, yes.
The only like joke I remember from that movie is the teacher, Mr. Electric, says to Linus, the bully, "Hey Linus, if you're continuing to be mean, we're going to have to call you Minus instead."
And then that's his like super villain name.
Yeah,
in
so
Dream World.
in the
Yeah.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl world, he's called Minus instead of Linus.
I remember it being kind of dope. Like
It was the it
it was
was
all about
it was a
dreams.
it was
The
a
whole
pre-Inception.
The whole movie was about dreams.
That movie inspired Inception.
Yeah.
So
Like if you watch Shark Boy and Lava Girl and then watch Inception afterwards, like there's no way that Christopher Nolan did not see Shark Boy and Lava Girl before he wrote Inception.
impossible.
Well,
Is that true?
I know. I'm gonna say it's not, but sure.
I would love for that to be true.
I mean, it'd
But
be
it's
great.
kind of meta though. Like there's a lot of like I don't know.
It would be great if that was true, but it's definitely not.
It's like how Ants and A Bug's Life came out in the same year.
But they're not really about the same things. Like they're both movies about ants, but like neither like they're not about the same. They don't have the same themes.
Are they both about communism, or is that just ants?
No, that's just ants.
Okay.
No, I think isn't well I guess
Well,
kind of.
isn't Bug's Life a little bit about?
Bugs Life is
communism?
about a dictatorship, so I guess it's kind
Yeah,
of.
so kind of.
No, I guess so, yeah. The grasshoppers are the dictators then.
And they're like afraid that the ants are gonna rise up against them, so they're like, we gotta oppress them.
Oh, are you talking about Bugs Life?
Yeah,
No. Ants is like full on like
it's a full-on like
commentary on like
Yeah.
political styles. I watched it for my civics class
yeah.
because they're like, check out this movie about politics.
Also, Sylvester Stallone's an ant.
It's aimed at children.
He plays the muscular ant because he's a muscle man.
The only thing I remember from Ants is there's one scene where they're like outside of the colony and he gets stepped on by a kid. But the kid's got gum on his shoes, so he just sticks to the gum. And that's all I remember.
I remember Woody Allen being Woody Allen.
He was in those movies, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, or Now You See Me Too. Right?
Woody Allen? Woody
That's Woody Harrelson.
Ah, Harrelson.
Oh yeah.
Woody Allen, Woody Harrelson,
Same-
Woody Andy's
same
toy.
thing.
They're all the same.
Well, yeah.
Woody's round.
You've seen a Woody Allen character. It's that.
Yeah.
Because they're all the same.
We were watching this Woody Allen movie in one of my film classes, and
Was
it was
it
this
Annie
one
Hall?
where the plot is that Woody Allen is like dating a teenager.
That's
Annie Hall.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
That's Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were watching that one, and like afterwards, there was something like
Woody Allen
I'm
was
so
dating
pissed
a
off
high
right now.
schooler.
like
It's kind of a creepy movie.
it's kind of a creepy movie when you think about it, and you also think about like how Woody Allen like
Didn't he also
Yes.
date teenagers in real life?
yeah. So it's like
So when you know that, the movie becomes creepier because it's like, oh, this guy's supposed to be the hero. It's not supposed to be weird or creepy in the context of the movie. It's supposed to be romantic, which is the creepy part.
Right.
uh-oh.
You guys ever think about like when you're in high school?
Yeah.
When someone was dating someone who went to college, it was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But now that you are in/past college, you're like, if you were dating a high schooler, that would just be pathetic.
Dating a high schooler is the mourning period. It's got a point.
I didn't have friends in high school, so I didn't know anyone who did in college.
Yeah. I was a college person who dated a high schooler, so I don't know how to
But if
respond to
the
this question.
relationship started within high school, that's fine.
Well, it did. So we just scraped
You
by.
were just slightly older. That's all. Like I don't think that was weird. But yeah,
It's
you were
not
dating,
like
you
you're
were
in-
dating a high school.
Yeah, it's not like you're in third year dating a freaking 17-year-old.
I don't know. I didn't.
So what are you now,
I don't
Scott?
think I
Like
knew-
28?
I knew this one girl in my school who was having casual sex with one of my friends while also having casual sex with 3 different people in college, 2 of which were girls, 1 of which was a guy. I did not like her. Not because she was having so much casual sex,
You're like, where can I get some?
just because she was a terrible person. Like, my friend was like so in love with her, and he asked her at one point, or well, can't stand you doing it with all these other people. So it's either me or them. And she was like, them.
Yeah, I mean,
3 against 1, baby.
like, I don't know.
Oh, and not only that, so, like, my friend was also very close friends with 2 other guys who I was friends with. And, she basically chose one of them at random at any point in time and said, okay, I'm gonna do you for this week. And it was just a weird situation overall. And she kept on, like, dangling one of them in front of the other 2 all the time, saying, ha, I'm with him now for the next 6 days. And then I'm gonna choose one of the other 2.
Yeah, that's when you get out.
Yeah, no, that's like messed. Don't.
That's when you leave.
Yeah, but she was like the only attractive girl in my high school.
That's when you leave your
Yeah,
high school.
everyone in that-
That's when you change.
Everyone in that situation needs some kind of help.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. Like,
That's why I say
there aren't any winners or losers there.
There's just
It just sucks.
just hormones
Sucks
and
to be
teenagers.
all those
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
You feel like you need
That's
any
why I
of that.
didn't really stay friends with that group. But it was fun to like listen to their drama during high school, even though I was like, why are you guys doing this? And I had this other friend who was also friends with him, and him and I would talk, and we'd say, yeah, like, we don't understand why these people are doing this. But they'll go to different universities, and then we'll all be okay. And that's what happened. They went to different universities. The 3 guys stayed friends, and they stopped talking for, which was good.
Had a happy ending.
Yeah,
have a happy ending when they left high school.
Basically.
How all
Everything,
stories
yeah,
end.
everything becomes better after high school.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've enjoyed university way more than high school.
Me too.
The bit in
And I've enjoyed unemployment almost as much as university.
the bit in Sky High that kills me. If life was gonna get fair, I doubt it's gonna happen in high school. Sky High.
There's a lot of
We
great
had that
lines at
whole
Sky High.
podcast about that.
So it's
Side
great.
note, yeah.
And how it should definitely get some sort of follow-up.
Yeah.
Sky High 2,
Sky-
Spring Break.
Sky Higher.
Sky higher.
Too sky, too high.
They should make a second Ferris Bueller, where Ferris Bueller's the dad.
Ew. No, I don't want that.
I think Ferris Bueller works as a self-contained
Oh, like you mean he's the dad? As in, like he has like an office job and he takes a day off of his office job.
They go
Like,
to
it's
spring
still,
break.
It's still.
It's the exact
Ferris
same
Bueller's Day
movie.
Off.
No, like,
He goes to the museum, he goes to a ball game, like he does all the
Yeah.
same things.
He does the same, but like he gets like reprimanded for all of them because he's like a full adult now.
No, no, he
What's
just
the consequence?
no. There's zero consequences. There's less consequences because
That
it's
would be I think that would be the most interesting way to do the sequel.
no. You
No,
put,
no.
he just has a day off. He just takes one of
Then it's
his.
just the
He
same
just
movie again.
he just takes a sick day.
But then it's just the same
Then
movie.
when
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller takes a sick day.
Well, that's what he did the first time. Was he took a sick day?
no, I mean, like, Ferris Bueller's the dad, and it's his kid.
On taking a day off.
Yeah, exactly.
Ferris Jr.'s
But
day
then
off.
what would be the point of Ferris being in the movie? Why not? Why wouldn't it just be a remake?
Just because, like, he'd be like, oh,
Well,
crap,
okay.
I did this.
Okay, say it was
Life
Ferris,
does move pretty fast.
Say it,
Does Sloan
I'm
come
old
back?
now.
Is Cameron there? I need to know these things.
yeah. Okay, say it was Ferris Bueller taking a day off work or whatever. Who would the movie be about then? Because the first movie is not about Ferris Bueller.
Right, it's about Cameron.
It's about Cameron.
Well, you just make a movie about Ferris.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean. Is that
Yeah,
if
you-
you're gonna make it about him,
You Pirates
it
of the
should- there
Caribbean
should
it, where you ruin the franchise by focusing on the
be- So
secondary
you're saying
character.
they should make a shitty movie? They
Yeah.
should try to make a good movie.
That's my pitch. You make a bad movie.
Why?
You know what's sad?
Because that's what Hollywood does.
They would
Yeah,
pick
but I'm-
Danny's idea.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to like think of hypothetical movies
Yeah,
that
no.
would be good.
I want to think of that too. Yeah, I think that that's
no,
a great.
it's
great
not
idea.
possible.
A great idea is you make it
Because I
about.
don't want to. I don't think about like how reality sucks. Like I don't need to be reminded. Like I like to come up with hypothetical, realistic scenarios that suck. Like, does anyone like to do that?
Speaking of which,
I do in this moment.
have any of you seen that Netflix movie, The Kissing Booth.
Didn't they make another one of
Some
those
of the
recently?
second
They made a
Some
second
of the
one.
second one.
Yeah.
Is this what? Tell me
They
about the
somehow
second
made a
one.
The second.
Is
the
it
se-
better? Is it
Wait,
worse?
before you talk about the second one, I just want to explain how the first one ends.
All right.
There's a kissing booth.
Does someone get kissed?
Yeah, so the kissing booth happens in the middle of the movie, and then they never talk about it.
That's awesome. So then the second one is there? Do they bring back a kissing booth?
They do, but
Or-
it's for the third act. It's for the very end.
Oh, so
Okay,
it's
that's good.
so it's better than the first one.
Yeah.
Kind of, in that way, yeah.
Because
but
it's
watching
actually
it, I'm
becomes
like,
about that.
Like, I don't know, I hadn't seen the first one, and I thought the first one was actually about a kissing booth. So I'm like, you know what, this movie's kind of reminding me of Fast Five, where like it's more about like the characters than like the actual kissing booth. But they're gonna bring back the kissing booth as like an homage
Okay,
to like,
wait,
their like
wait.
street racing roots.
You seem to know a lot about this franchise, Patrick.
Before you continue, I watched The Kissing Booth because I was living in Ottawa, and Ottawa's boring as hell. So
Tulips.
I did something almost as boring. I watched The Kissing Booth. It wasn't a great movie. The general premise is this guy and this girl, they're best friends, and they have all these rules that they follow. And one of them is if we're in a fight, one of us brings
Wait.
the other ice cream, and then we stop fighting. That's the only rule I remember. Besides no dating anyone in the other one's family.
Oh, yeah, it's the kid from Super 8, but he's like,
Oh.
Oh, really?
yeah,
Cool.
he's one
So-
of the best friends.
Yeah, then the girl's like, I want to date your older brother, and then the guy is like, I hate you. And that's basically the premise of the movie. And then there's a kissing booth, and she makes out with the older brother in the kissing booth. And then
Oh,
he's like, what did
no.
you do? And then she's
Are
like,
you
but I
alone?
love him. And then they start dating. And eventually the younger brother's like, I don't like this, but you're my friend, so I accept you anyway. Or something like that. And the movie ends with the older brother going off to college, and then she has an inner monologue that like plays as the movie's ending, and she's like, he might cheat on me. And that's how the movie ends.
Okay.
That's
Can there?
interesting, because the second one starts with
Can
her
there-
like, oh, I think
Can
he's
you
cheating on me.
do? Can you do?
Really?
Can
Yeah.
you do a
Ah.
kissing booth in 2020? Is that like legal
I think it's, oh, I don't
in a post Me Too world? In a post James Franco world?
because he got me too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Man, that phrase, that made up horrible phrase from Riverdale has a meaning.
Yeah. Now we're in a post James Franco world. They were still in a They were still in a
We're in a post
pre-post
We're in a
James Franco world.
pre-post James Franco world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Kissing Booth 2, I mean, so the premise of the Kissing Booth 2 is that, oh, where do I start? So
Did you see this whole
basically,
movie?
I've seen like most of it.
Okay.
Jess was watching it the one day, and I was like half watching it while like cleaning. I can't remember what I was doing.
You better have been doing something else
Crap.
with your time.
I'm literally just trying to remember. Oh, we were it was the weekend I went and visited you guys. It was like right before that we were watching it. So the Kissing Booth 2 is about like her boyfriend or whatever is the brother.
Yeah, the older brother.
The older brother, and he goes off to college, and she's like, so at the beginning she's like, oh, this is fine. I just have to hang out without my boyfriend, and my best friend's cool. And they have all this like really like lame, dorky like best friend stuff where they'll be like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And they'll look at each other and then say the same stupid thing at the same time, and it's like the worst. And I'm just like, oh, like
Just like me and
why
my
don't you
best
guys,
friend.
you're a boy and a girl, and you don't want to have sex with each other. Like, what is this movie? Like, and
Yeah,
it's
wait, is
not-
that the plot? That
that's
they
the
don't want to
plot,
have
yeah,
sex?
They're best friends and they don't want to have sex.
Wait a
with
minute.
each other.
Wait, so they never. Wait, so why do they care
That's
if they
never
date?
intention.
Why do they care if they date their brother or sister or not?
Because it's my brother. Ugh, ew.
So?
Yeah.
Then-
right. So that's what's
So,
kind
you,
of,
so
it
do
feels-
you want some?
So
It
it
feels
kind of-
like
if
they
not,
want to be
then-
together, right?
It feels like no. It feels,
That's what the
it
plot-
feels wrong that they don't want to be together.
Yeah, because like
It's
I was watching the
confusing,
first
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
and
what's the
entire
point of the
time-
movie then?
Yeah.
The entire time I was watching the first one,
You're
I'm like, oh, she's gonna realize that the older brother isn't the thing. It's
It's-
the guy that's been her best friend forever.
But
He's
no,
the
the
thing.
older brother
But-
is the thing.
Yeah, and it never happens.
Yeah.
and
Well, I guess the
it
second.
subverts
I guess
it.
the second one is better because she's already dating the older brother in that one, and then there's this other guy that likes her and
Oh.
she might be into.
I hate
But
this
then,
already.
at the end of the movie, she actually makes the mature decision and rejects that guy and goes to her original boyfriend and stays with him.
so, it's probably a better movie. She actually learned something.
And the kissing
I
booth
guess.
happens in the third act instead
It
of
happens
the
at the
second.
end.
The
yeah.
first- the
and,
first
and the
movie-
kissing booth is the culmination of many character arcs.
The first movie
As
sounds
well.
like it's about nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like.
Well, that's what most of these like Netflix teen movies are about. Is nothing.
Because
You
there
guys-
seems to be no goal for any of the characters.
Speaking of Netflix teen movie, did any of you watch The Perfect Date?
That's a movie.
Yeah. I actually kind of enjoyed that one. It wasn't the best, but it was better than like.
The not so perfect thing.
So the basic premise of that one is this guy. He's like, I want to get into Stanford or whatever, like one of those Ivy League schools, and he's like,
Already sounds better. The main character has a goal. We're
So-
off to a good start.
I
he.
didn't even tell you about the dance contest in the last one. They have a Dance Revolution contest, but
Oh, amazing.
Specifically, Dance Dance
no, it's
Revolution.
Dance Mania. 'Cause it has to be legally not like.
They
safe.
could legally use Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
So what happens is he's like, if I want to get into it, I am not that rich. I have to have money. How can I make money? And he's like, well, I'm really good at designing apps and stuff. Like, I know how to code. So he makes himself an app where this was inspired by something that he did earlier on in the movie. But he makes himself an app where people can pay him to be their date. It's kind of like prostitution, but not actually.
But not quite.
Yeah, so at one point in the movie,
But you
Oh,
have to
I saw
pay.
the
You
trailer
have to
for
pay
this, yeah.
extra for prostitution.
Is it
Yeah.
Justice Smith?
No, it's
I think so.
it's
Detective
got
Pikachu.
that's got to be the
I
guy
think
who's
so,
in all
yeah.
the Netflix movies, isn't it? That guy?
Yeah, it's that guy.
Yeah. What's his name?
The one from the.
The one from he's in all of them. He's in All the Boys You've Loved Before.
Oh, who
he's
looks like
in-
generic hot guy, but
Yeah.
also he somehow looks like nobody and everyone
Yeah,
all at
that's
once.
the one.
Yeah,
that's the
that
exact one.
guy.
Is he in the kissing booth?
Probably.
Maybe I don't think so though.
Oh yeah, he blends right
It's like
in.
him. It's like him and Asian Reggie. Those are the two guys that are in all the movies.
So
Hey, I don't have beef with me. Have beef with Riverdale. They invented Asian Reggie.
so basically, I remember one of the scenes where a girl uses the app to get his services, and
Yeah,
she's
does.
dating a guy already, but she uses the app to get him to be a guy who her parents completely disapprove of, so that her parents will approve of her real boyfriend.
But then do the parents not
Oh.
disapprove of him?
No, they
And it
completely
backfires?
disapprove of him.
Oh.
So it works perfectly.
Oh.
But yeah, he does this to earn money, and then at the beginning of the
See,
movie,
this-
he meets a girl, and she kind of like helps him out with this, and then she likes him, and then he's an idiot, as all guys are, and doesn't realize she likes him. And at the end of the movie, they finally go on a real date, something dumb like that, and he kind of cheats his way into Stanford by talking about how bees like honey. Oh, because the
I think
Stanford admissions guy, he's a beekeeper, and then he lies about knowing about beekeeping stuff, and he does research about it too, so that the admission guy gets him into Stanford. And the girl's like, "You did that like one of your stupid dates. You just researched a role and you played it. You don't even want to go into Stanford. You just think you have to fill this role." And then he's like, "Oh my God, I don't know who I am inside." And then he's like, "Thank you for letting me know that I don't know who I am." And then that's the end of the movie. And he's like, "I like you because you taught me to just be myself."
You know,
But he doesn't know who himself is.
Yeah, and then he's like, "I need to take time to find myself."
you know,
So that's why it was actually like kind of a good movie.
you know what the problem with that premise is?
What's that?
It implies that girls need to pay someone to go on a date with them, which is
True.
not the case.
I don't know which version of myself I'm supposed to be.
Wow, she's a really bad dancer.
Yeah, she's the worst. I've been so many people these past few months. A cowboy, an art connoisseur, and a bad friend. It's time to figure out who I am and what I want.
What are some of your interests outside of school?
Howdy. Usual teenage stuff.
Yeah,